Hi, I'm Sudesh. I'm here to give testimonial about Streamline property management and how it's been a pleasant experience for me to work with Joe and his team. Hi, I'm Sudesh, and I'm a director at Apple. Been working with Apple for 19 years, and we have a family of four, me, my wife, and two kids. So we've been in the US for about 22 years now, and out of that 19 years in Bay Area. Yeah, we came across Streamline Property Management when we were working with a realtor in Ben Lomond. We had a property in Ben Lomond that we bought, which is on a 2.5 acre lot. And initially, we had really young kids, like 6-year-old and 2-year-old, and we wanted to not move there right away. We wanted to rent it out, and we didn't know how to go about it. And a realtor introduced us to Joe. She was working with Joe for a long time, and we met Joe at her property in Ben Lomond, and he was such a pleasant guy to meet right away, and we felt a connection with him. He just understood what we were looking for and went about finding like a great tenant for our place back in Ben Lomond. And since then, he has been managing a couple of properties for us. Yeah, so we had two properties that Streamline managed for us. One was in Ben Lomond. It was in a 3-acre lot. It was tucked into the back of the neighborhood. It was super private and everything. And we did not want to give it to any kind of tenant. So that was one property. And the second one is near UC Santa Cruz. Those are two properties he managed for us. So we have the two properties, one in Ben Lomond, one in UC Santa Cruz. So the one in Ben Lomond, Joe was really taking his time to find the right tenant. We didn't want to put any kind of tenant in there. And he found a single person who was in his late 50s, early 60s, wanted to play music and have like a very big property so that he doesn't disturb the neighbors. And that particular tenant was really perfect for us because we wanted somebody who can take care of the property. And that worked out really well. We had the tenant for almost 2 years, after which we took the property back. And the second one is near UC Santa Cruz. I cannot mention how Joe and his team have been so effective in finding and vetting out the right students for the property. So we have the property since 2019 and just before the pandemic, actually. And Joe was able to find tenants even during the pandemic. That was pretty amazing. We did not expect to find anybody because everybody were remote and all that. He was able to get like about 3 or 4 tenants, if I remember correctly. It was really good. And since then, he has been finding multiple students throughout, and all these students have been really good students, and many of them are volleyball players, and they are like really good friends. As a example, for the last 2 years, we had many tenants re-sign for the property for the lease for the next year as well. And they were able to bring a couple other friends. A couple of them moved out. They were able to find two more friends of their own and recommend them to Joe. So Joe was able to vet them out and get the property always rented out. I mean, the downtime between renting out the property and finishing up school year and getting the next tenants back in is really like a week time frame or something like that. And Joe has been pretty darn amazing about it. Streamline Property, the amount of work that they do for us in vetting out the tenants and vetting out the different applicants and finding the right ones who fit the bill for us has been pretty amazing. And we even forget that we actually own the property, honestly. I mean, because he just manages it so well. He just tells us just before, like in April, May timeframe, he says, hey, for next year, this is the kind of students I'm getting, vetting them out, and this is a rent we're expecting. And he just handles it all. Even when there are issues with the property for some small repairs or anything, he just goes and gets it done very quickly and keeps us informed. Many times he even does it on his own. He doesn't even use a handyman. If it's a small job, he does it on his own, which is pretty darn amazing. To find Joe and his team to be so responsive and responsible for us is just a blessing for us. So we don't have to worry much about our property. We know that it's taken care of well, both by the tenants that he chooses and himself. So we're really lucky to have Joe as our property manager. Yeah, working with Streamline Property Management is the easiest decision that you can make as a property owner. Joe is extremely responsible. He knows what he is doing. He knows the area really well. He has a really good process for vetting out applicants and also getting top dollars for your property. So he does everything in a very smooth fashion. I'd call him a smooth operator, and he gets things done extremely well. So if you have any property management to choose, I would recommend highly Streamline Property Management and Joe.